Back to our studios here in New York for the 11th hour. Joining us here in New York is Congressman Dan Kildee, Democrat of the state of Michigan, whose district includes Flint and Saginaw. And Congressman, thank you for coming in. It's a pleasure to have you. Let's talk about the president's behavior. You've said a lot about what you've seen. How, maybe I should ask it this way, how is it dangerous beyond to his fortunes politically?
Well, obviously it does have an effect on his fortunes politically, but he's the president of the United States. What he says matters, whether he wants to believe that or not. He's not some casual observer to the process, some sort of disconnected, person. What the president says makes a difference. He has an entire government that is supposed to act on his word, and we have an entire world that makes decisions every single day based on the things that come out of his mouth. It's dangerous to have a person that doesn't seem to have any breaks at all between the brain and the mouth. Whatever comes into his head comes out, and it's consequential.
There's this report tonight on the website called The Intercept. Investigative journalist named Glenn Greenwald is the guy who started it up, and they have a lot of investigative journalists working there. And it says the Russians, quoting an NSA source, young woman has since been fired for the leak. Their attempts to infiltrate were just as great as we thought. How complacent or not are Michiganders, are your constituents?
Complacent on that subject?
Yeah.
I think the problem we have, of course, and this is where the election results play into this, is that people are really focused on their situation, on the troubles that they're having every single day. When I go home, as much as we talk about this political storm that changes every single day, most of the folks just want to talk about how we're going to get the economy moving again and jobs. So I think the president takes advantage of that. I don't believe that people back home are complacent. I think they're just focused on the issues that are more important to them every single day. And that's really what's front of mind for them.
Back when the Flint water crisis was getting nonstop coverage here and elsewhere, my heart sank when I heard how long it was going to take to replace the mains, to replace the pipes to the homes, the plumbing within every home. Say nothing of the overall water system in that town, which needs a good break and not a bad break. And so I was thinking today, infrastructure, which was supposed to be the White House's initiative today. Today, the president chose air traffic control. Not knowing what future that faces in Congress, infrastructure is something that the Flint-Saginaw area has given our country over the years and now needs from our country. And so it would, I suppose you would cheer a legislative agenda that would bring that kind of thing back to your district.
For sure. Obviously, this is something we have to do. It's inevitable that sooner or later we have to replace all this aging infrastructure. I worry that the president's inability to focus on anything for more than 24 hours, let alone 24 minutes, I suppose, is going to keep us from the one big bipartisan effort that we could join hands on, and that's infrastructure. What happened in Flint, as you point out, is sad, but it's not that Flint is some sort of an anomaly. It's not sort of just an extreme case in, poor Flint. Flint's not an anomaly. It's a warning. If we don't get serious, there are going to be more and more Flint, Michigans all over the country. And the president is squandering an opportunity to bring a seemingly divided Congress together around a subject that we ought to be able to work together on, and we could deliver for the American people and have the effect of growing our economy at the same time. But he's so focused on his own ego, or massaging his own ego, that he can't get enough attention on something as important as this and do something about it. I heard Kellyanne Conway, I think it was her, say that we shouldn't focus on the tweets, we should focus on what he does. What has he done? What has he done? Show me something. The most significant thing he does is he gets up in the morning and he tweets. That's what the world listens to. There's no legislative agenda. There are no legislative victories. There's no real progress that he's made, except that he just talks about it all the time.
We'll have to leave it there. Congressman, thank you very much for visiting us here.
Thank you.
Democratic Congressman Dan Kildee, Democrat of the great state of